John Holcomb and Nick Ost, and then Jaron Lewis. Okay. So, and happy with all three of them. All three of them at times have done things where they've really shined. Mm-hmm. All three of them have had times where you said, "Hey, that's not good enough for us." But the good part is we're still a number of days away from game day.
Obviously, before we even saw John Holcomb on a football field this year, we saw him with that monster dunk. Talk about his athleticism and how it lends itself to the position.
Well, I didn't see that monster dunk initially, but then it got tweeted from or text from about 6 guys saying, "Hey, have you seen Twitter? Your quarterback's on there." So obviously I saw it. He's a big raw athlete, very very good arm talent. Is a guy though that can beat you with his feet also. But he's in a position right now that he's definitely in a three-way battle for that second quarterback.
Nick Ost, he's intriguing. Hadn't really heard so much about him.
No, he's been a guy that has done a phenomenal job all summer long learning the system, spending extra time. I mean, I can't tell you how many times this summer and even during camp where he's been in there early, when he's been in and just been on his own, in the staff room watching tape and going through the playbook and going through installation and watching defense. And it's amazing even how many times he went through and watched our first 3 opponents. And the big part right now for us is let's worry about ourselves, but he wants to not only learn what we're doing, but also be ready when his opportunity comes.
How behind is Lewis, and how close is he?
I think he's close. I think he's still, sometimes I forget that even though he was here in the spring, Jaron's still just a freshman, a true freshman. So sometimes we're still in a position where the game needs to slow down for him, where he doesn't just use his own talent. He's got to use the understanding of the system also.
Coach Kleiman praised Nick Lenners for looking a little bit better in his last press conference. How's he done for you?
Nick's still been a work in progress, much as anything. Some of you would and some wouldn't remember. Really, spring he could run around, but he couldn't have any contact. And now he's fully cleared. He's starting to become more and more comfortable with just running and playing and being the athlete that he is for a big guy. And he is a good athlete for a big guy. I would be no way would I say that he's totally where he wants to be. But he's definitely going in the right direction, and I feel good about him.
Courtney, what's the story on Youngblood? What makes him tick? What makes him good?
I think just competition, competitive. He came from an area in Florida and Tampa area where they all the schools that play each other really are competitive. He's a guy from Berkeley Prep that they play Clearwater Christian or Clearwater Catholic. That'll be a great one to have on there. And Tampa Catholic, they play Jesuit. They play all the teams that really understand how to play football. And what generally makes the separation in those types of teams is the guys that really understand how to compete also. And he's a guy that really competes and plays hard every snap.
He had more rushing yards than he did receiving yards in high school, if I'm correct on that. What did you see? What caught your eye?
Well, the biggest thing, because we were really recruiting him hard when we were at North Dakota State, and it was more just because of that raw athlete that he is. And then when you had the opportunity to come to Kansas State, right away we said, hey, where's he at? Where's he at in his recruiting process? Because we always felt he was a Big 12 caliber player. And it's really because of twofold. He's very physical, very well put together, but he also understands the game of football. And he's got great ball skills, but you can hand it to him or throw it to him, and that makes him intriguing.
What's the most impressive thing you've seen him do on a field?
So far, to be honest with you, the most impressive thing was we had a one-on-one tackle drill, and his ability to both be physical in that drill and go ahead and make somebody miss. I mean, he even though he's a wide receiver, did not shy away at all from the physical aspect of the game.
A guy who did play last year, Malik Knowles, break him down for him.
Malik, big, long, athletic. Actually, this past practice we had really showed up, and the biggest thing is he's starting to get very comfortable with the one-on-one aspect of playing. When corners get left out there one-on-one with him, he's got a chance to really make them hurt because he can run. He's got length, but yet he also has really, really good ball skills. So we're fired up on him.
What position on your offense, what position group would you feel like is maybe furthest along right now?
I'd say that's it depends on the day.
Sure.
Because there's been days where the O-line really has played well together as a group, picked up blitzes, slid the line the correct way, and did it as a group. And then there's been other days where you'd say, hey, right now the quarterbacks and really Skyler leading those guys did the best job. Just playing catch, taking what was given to them, not forcing things. There's been days where I really felt like the tight ends had big positives in the practice. But I would say no one has come out and just said, hey, they're the go-to group. But all of them are I'm happy with.
Do you suspect you'll have a firm starting five on that offensive line, or is that competition that will continue into the first couple of weeks?
Well, the competition will continue, but I would guess by the time we start, we'll have what we would feel is the legit starting five. But we definitely want to play 7 or 8 guys on that O-line.